Uh, welcome, yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Lesson Overtime with your host, Miss Vicky. Time. It teaches us so many lessons. So, Lesson Overtime with your host, Miss Vicky. Time. It teaches us so many lessons. So, Lesson Overtime with your host, Miss Vicky. Time. It teaches us so many lessons. So, Lesson Overtime with your host, Miss Vicky.
Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Lessons Over Time. I am the host, Miss Vicky. I'm also known as Grandma Vicky. I'm better known as Mom. And listen, today I just want to get over here and just talk about some things that make you go. Listen, sometimes I make my own self laugh because I think of things that didn't make sense back in the days when I was younger that are starting to make sense now that you're retired. You ain't got nothing to do but sit here and think about things that you used to do. Now, listen, I had to think about what does retirement really mean? I didn't understand why they call it retire because in my opinion and my thoughts, and I said I live in my head, retired. Listen to the word retired. I get up in the morning, get up and get my coffee, and I'm retired. I'm tired again, and I'm going back to lay back down. I go out, I'll run some errands, and I come back home, and I'm retired. I sit my tail on that couch and lay down for a second. I will do something else like, dang, I'm tired. I get retired because once you stop working and you retire, you're all day you're retired over and over and over again. That was just my thought, and I had to laugh at myself. I was like, I'm retired. I'm retired. I tickle my grandson because he'll say, "Grandma," when he spends the night. He'll get up in the morning. It's like, "Grandma, it's morning time." I'm like, "It's Saturday, boy. If you don't lay yourself back down, it is only 6:30 in the morning." He said, "But it's morning time. The sun is out. We got to get up." And I was like, "Boy, if you don't lay back down, it's not time to get up." "Yes, it is, Grandma. We got to get up." He said, "Let me tell you a story." And so he runs around to my side of the bed. And he said, "Well, I once had a grandma and she didn't get out of bed and she died." And he said, "So you have to get up and you have to move around." And I was like, "Okay, listen, he's only 4. I'm his only living grandma. So are you telling me if I don't get up, I'm gonna die?" Because that story is not true. And God, are you talking to me like move it or lose it? And I think about little stuff like that because I believe God uses whoever He wants to get messages to you when He wants to. And I know He uses those little people called grandchildren who will say, our kids, period, who will say the darndest thing that don't make sense, but they make sense. I remember just being as a kid, all the little silly things that we used to be told and believed that didn't make sense. But now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, now those things are starting to make sense to me. I remember my mom saying, "If you come in this house one more time, all you guys doing is running in and out the house." And I was like, okay. I tell my grandson, "If you don't shut my door and stop running in, you either go outside or you stay in the house." I was like, "Ooh, oh." So that's what that meant. Now that you get older, it makes so much more sense. And the things that we learn, listen, look, now that I'm getting older, I'm still not too old to stop learning. It's when I get dementia or something, if that's going to be my journey, maybe I can't learn then. But right now, in my healthy older age, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. And the Bible tells you to make sure you still have a teachable spirit. And I want to make sure I am always trying to learn something. I tried my best to pay attention in school so that I can learn some things And the lessons I've learned are now coming back to me. I used to want to know, why do we have to know about history? I hated history. I hated science. Chat GPT is part of science to me. History is very much necessary, even though you can Google and all that stuff. I'm like, why do we have to know about that? But it's so important, because guess what? With my kids, maybe I could get away with it because they had their dad was there to, the things I didn't know he knew, and he loved history and science and all that stuff. But now that I have grandkids, you don't want to look dumb in front of your grandkids. So you have to know a little bit. They be like, Grandma, you don't know that? And so I have to stay one up on them. I have to learn how to maneuver through Chat GPT. I want to learn all the things. I want to learn 6'7", 6'7". What's that mean? I'll be asking all the questions. What does 6'7" mean? I think me and Chat GPT go together because he is my friend. Yes, he is. Yes. He's very important. He lives rent free. And I was telling my oldest son, I said, and my youngest son, I said, Chat GPT, and used correctly, it's a good tool. It really, to me, is a good tool, because you could do so many things and learn so many things. But as in life, people use certain things for evil. They really do. And that's where you have to be careful. So, and that being said, as we're getting older, don't be afraid. And I think I always say this, don't be afraid to keep learning, to try new things, to push yourself, to get the if it's an iPhone, to get the iPhone and to learn all the stuff. Go on YouTube. YouTube is your friend. You can go onto YouTube and you can learn all how to maneuver through your cell phone, how to, what this is for and what that's for. And they have different things on your cell phone that you didn't even know they had, that you can learn to use. Educate yourself and to learn. Stay on top of stuff, because you don't want to get left behind. You don't want to be, especially if you're a single citizen, a senior citizen living alone, you want to make sure that you are staying on top of stuff so that you don't get fooled and tricked into things. Listen, I remember when I was married, years ago, many years ago, to my children's father, and he was a mechanic, and I loved working on cars. And he would always tell me, he called me Boo Boo. He's like, Boo Boo, I want to don't listen. He said, I want you to learn um, what this is and where this go, and what dirty oil looks like, and the dipstick, and all the things. Now that we got these all fancy cars, I wish, God rest his soul, he ain't here to show me a lot of stuff. But yeah, he would say, I don't want, you go into a car shop and they see a woman come in there, and they try to take advantage because they think you don't know what they're talking about. I will listen. I will go to YouTube and I will educate myself before I take my car to the shop. Now listen, when they opened the hood of my car, it was so dirty under there. I was like, oof, oof. And my car is not that old, but when I had I have a SUV now, but when I had a smaller car, I would always go and make sure I clean the inside of the end underneath the hood, and everything was always sparkling and shining. And now I just pay the fees for the car wash and run it through the car wash. When I seen under that hood, I was like, baby girl, this is yeah, it was a reminder to me that this is how your body could be. Like, you make sure you take care of washing the outside and cleaning the outside, but what's the inside look like? It, that's what I thought of when I seen under my hood. Look, I live in my head, so I think of all these things. I'm like, okay, when they open that hood, I think God just speaks to me. He speaks through anything and everything, and you just got to pay attention. Because when that hood opened up, I was like, is that how the inside of me look? Clean on the outside, dirty on the inside. Lord, 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 what is it you want me to fix, honey? Here I am, Lord. Uh, Go ahead and spray everything and just clean me from the inside out. That's what I want. That's how I think. And yeah, I don't know what made me go to that, but yeah, when I seen under the hood of my car, I was like, Vicky, you got some dirty spots still. And those are lessons you're gonna be learning time and time again. That it's okay to say no. It's okay to step back. Now that you retire, you got to start paying attention to a lot of stuff. You got to start cleaning on the inside, cleaning your heart out. Listen, I have cleaned every inch of my house, decluttered, recluttered, and decluttered, and cleaned every corner on my hands and knees. Um, yeah, gave away stuff, just all the things, because I said I don't want clean on the outside and you come in my house and it's dirty. Nuh-uh, she ain't having that. So yeah. Anywho, at this point, I'm babbling. Today's the day I have my grandson, so I'm going to be getting off of here to go pick him up. But the moral of this story and this video was lessons I learned over time is to pay attention, clean what needs to be clean, learn all you can learn. You're never too old, and know that God speaks through many different things. It could be the smallest of the smallest and the biggest of the biggest, the quietest of the quietest and the loudest of the loudest. God speaks. You just have to pay attention and know his voice. And he says, my sheep will know my voice. But honey, listen, when my grandson spoke, I knew that was God speaking to me. And when that mechanic raised up my hood and I seen how dirty it was, God said, Vicky, you still got some work to do on the inside. That was my lesson I learned over time. What is your lesson? That's about it. Peace.